King K. Rool. You know, I was gonna make a video about that. How, for me, when it comes to Donkey Kong, because I feel like whenever the topic of like the new ones, like I feel like there's like a big divide of like, I don't even know if it's necessarily people who grew up, like exclusively people who grew up with the old ones, but like I feel like there's a divide on people who think the new ones are fine, and then people that really want the new ones to be more like the old ones. For me, honestly, what I want, like, I don't care if they try new stuff. Just stop erasing the past with Donkey Kong. Because, like, you could argue, like, well, I mean, the Kongs are there and stuff, but dude, this is unplayable. Like, sure, the Kongs are there and everything, but there's one animal buddy across both games. There's only one. So, like, even if you want to make the argument of, like, well, they want to try new stuff, they could have made some new animal buddies. I'm down. Add a shark or something, like, since they added breathing underwater, which I think adds nothing to the game. Make a new underwater animal buddy. But for me, the biggest one is the enemies. Because the thing that I thought of that's kind of crazy is, so between Returns and Tropical Freeze, even within their own games, they don't even keep the same enemies. So it's like, how am I supposed to fully dive into this universe when, like, it's not even the same within the new trilogy? And then you could still make the argument of, like, well, they really just want to keep on trying new stuff. But it's like, I'm sure that there's, like, big fans of some of this, like, enemies they've made. I'm sure there's some. But I would argue that there is no chance that Lord Frederick getting in Smash would have the same level of hype as K. Rool getting in Smash. Now, there's a lot of different elements to that, because K. Rool had, like, a larger history and all that stuff. But it's just the fact of, like, they made such a memorable villain. I really don't mind them trying new stuff. I really don't. I just don't like how it's all erased. And then, like, there's some examples of games where, like, you know, it's not just because there's a history. Like, Undertale, everyone knows Sans, and there's not, like, some long history of, like, a bajillion games. But I think certain games, the way that they're set up, they don't need to have all this stuff removed for them to try new stuff. Like, I still think, like, Mario, if they made a bunch of games and every single time there was just all different enemies and stuff, I don't think people would have dived in as much. I really don't. Yeah, I thought that was weird too. I felt that the final boss in Tropical Freeze was trying to pay, like, homage to K. Rool, and it was like, why don't we just use K. Rool then? Like, I wouldn't even care if it was like, they have K. Rool, and then there's, like, a secret world after, and there's, like, another boss. Like, I don't even care if K. Rool isn't the ultimate main villain. If they even want, like, I would prefer he's just the main villain, but, like, I'm just saying, like, even if they wanted to experiment that far, like, fine. Like, Bowser isn't always, like, the ultimate final enemy. I just don't like how the entire past is removed. Especially, like, I could understand it a little more if Donkey Kong was, like, a dying series. And it was like, okay, guys, like, we gotta really figure out, like, what's going on here. That's not the case at all. Like, it's super memorable for so many people. That's the part that it's like, what? But like, for me, it's not that they can't try new stuff. It really isn't. I don't even care if the new one isn't 2D. I don't care if they try new stuff. Like, I'm fine with that. I just don't get why they have to erase the whole friggin' history. Like, Mario Wonder tried a bunch of new stuff, but there's still familiar bases in it. No, it's not a dead franchise. I don't know why people would, like, I mean, I'm not actively looking to see what people are saying, but if they're saying that, I mean, I think that's going a bit far. I don't think it's a dead franchise. It just needs to be rejuvenated. My other thing, though, and, like, this might be an unpopular opinion, all I want when it comes to, like, the new Donkey Kong game, it's two things. I don't care if they end up doing 3D. I don't care if they, like, change the gameplay. Like, if they want to try something new or whatever. Like, I don't know if I'll like it or not, but, like, I don't care if they want to try something new. It's two things. I want The old enemy's back. Not all, they don't all need to come back, just some. At least K. Rool and like, you know, mix in old with the new. It's the art style, dude. I don't like it. I don't know. Tropical Freeze should have been like my dream game. Really think about it. It should have been my absolute dream game. It's Donkey Kong Country, one of my favorite game series of all time. And you guys know how much I love like the Frozen aesthetic. And it literally, like I just don't like the art style. No, I don't like Tropical Freeze's art style. I don't. I think everything looks like plasticky. It's weird. I can't even put it to words. Something about it, like the Kongs, they look great. But the enemies and like the trees and stuff, like it just, that's why it sounds so freaking nitpicky. I don't know. I mean, these are things I never thought of in the old ones. I just thought they looked cool. Well, I guess put it this way though, like, because I'm curious. Are you like attached to the way Tropical Freeze looks? Like, do you hope the next game looks like it, or would you rather them do something different? Dude, I'm glad that I found a group of people that see the new Rambi the way I do. Dude, he went from looking like a little, like, dude, Rare's design was just perfect. Because Rambi looked like a little, like, rough around the edges, but then, like, is also playful. It was perfect. Like, the idle animation of Rambi panning, like, it was perfect. And then in Tropical Freeze, he just looks like a goofball. I don't know. Retro made him a bit too realistic. I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like he looks too cartoonish. He looks like a clay sculpture. That's a good way to put it. Clay sculpture is how I see the art style of Tropical Freeze.